think the medicine really helps.
Do you
Yeah.
think that to get to that level of insight that you require having a shaman or somebody to help guide you there? Or is it possible to do that work on your own and get to the same place?
I don't think it's possible to do it on your own. No, I don't think that you can try to do psychedelics or, any kind of mind altering substances to work on yourself. But when you're doing it by yourself, it's like just yelling into an empty room, like yelling into an empty room, hoping to hear something back that's not an echo of your own voice. And I think when you are with people who are guided and who are knowledgeable of like who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, what the ramifications of what you're doing are, and their intentions for you are pure, then you're going to have, I think, a lot better experience getting from the medicine what you're supposed to get from it, and retrieving the answers that you're asking yourself, from this experience.
Yeah.
I had a friend come to me. We both know this friend. He is in cannabis, but he was like, "Hey, I got this DMT pen. Hey, I got a DMT pen. I'm so scared to use it. I know you've done ayahuasca, which is basically just 5-MeO DMT, which is the most highest potency of natural DMT you can get in nature." He's like, "I've got this synthetic DMT pen. I want to do it. Do you want to do it with me?" Like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, yeah, let's hit it. But now, after having gone through this experience, I was like, no, I don't want to do the synthetic version of this natural God essence that I've been doing. But I will be here and sit with you while you do it. And I think that was a very powerful part for him, because he was like, okay, that's like a grounding, because he was really scared. That's a really grounding tool for him to have someone based in reality that he can come to and say, "Are we okay?" And I can be like, "Yeah, we're fine. Like, you're okay." And when you're doing ayahuasca, you have a shaman who is not just, usually not drinking at first, but is usually so versed in drinking and drinks all the time that they can be drinking and really guide you spiritually to where you have to be in your head. I mean, I've seen some crazy shit on ayahuasca, man. I've been like, what are you showing me, guy? I don't even speak Portuguese. And these tribal leaders will come up to me and be speaking to me in Portuguese or a half-broken native tongue, and I'm understanding them, which is kind of weird. Like, I'm getting it.
Wow.
I'm like, oh yeah, I can't reiterate, but when I speak English back to them, they're like, yeah, we get that too. It's the most bizarre thing in the world, like communication barrier.
Do you think it opens up portals that exist that we just, because living in the reality that we're living in here on Earth, with all of the inputs, everything that's coming at us with information, with sensation, that and just years of genetic conditioning, right? Where our DNA has just been kind of optimized for this chaos, right? That those things kind of get dulled a little bit.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, that because we're so used to the chaos that
like there are people who like are living on Sentinel Island that have never been exposed to the craziness of what we know as life. Are they actually able to get closer? And I'm thinking this because I think of monks, right? You hear these stories of monks that can change the temperature of their body in certain areas because they're so in control of themselves. They're so strong in mind, but that's not probably possible if you're working a 9-to-5, living in, whatever big city. You've got to be like so cut off from all of that to be so focused that I think there's so many things that our brain has power over that we don't even realize. You don't know what you don't know. And I wonder if psychedelics, one of the many great things they do is to, kind of crush down everything and allow our natural senses to kind of rise up.
Yeah.